Imagine this. It is 8 in the evening. You are relaxing on the couch, the house is calm, and then out of the corner of your eye you see it. Your dog suddenly drops to the floor, plants his front paws and starts dragging his rear end across your carpet. Scoot, scoot, scoot. Right across the living room like a furry little sled. Maybe you laughed the first time. Maybe you even filmed it for social media. But now it is happening every single day, and deep down you know something is wrong. If you are watching this right now, I know exactly how confused and honestly a little grossed out you are. And I know how frustrating it is to have already tried everything. You changed his food. You gave him more fiber. You bathed him and wiped his backside 100 times. Maybe you even spent $80 at the vet just to be handed a deworming pill that did absolutely nothing. Because the scooting came right back 2 days later. But what if I told you that your dog is not dragging his butt because he has worms? What if I told you that in the vast majority of cases, worms have nothing to do with it at all? And what if I told you that the real reason your dog is scooting across your floor is a hidden problem sitting just beneath the skin, one that you can completely fix at home in about 2 days using items you already have in your kitchen and your bathroom cabinet right now? If you saw the thumbnail of this video, you saw the promise. Today I'm going to show you the real reason your dog drags his butt, why the deworming pills and the diet changes keep failing you, and the exact simple step-by-step method to give your dog relief in as little as 48 hours. No expensive vet bill required. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I am your neighborhood veterinarian, and in my clinic, this exact complaint is one of the most common things worried pet parents bring to me. They walk in embarrassed, lower their voice, and whisper, "Doctor, my dog keeps dragging his behind across the carpet. Is something seriously wrong with him?" And every single time, I take a deep breath and tell them the same thing. You are not a bad pet parent, and your dog is not broken. He is simply trying to tell you that something back there is uncomfortable, and he cannot reach it any other way. Now, we are taught in the conventional world to just throw a dewormer at the problem and send the owner home. But as a holistic leaning vet, I believe in finding the actual root cause. So today we are doing a complete masterclass on the scooting dog. Grab a notebook because I'm going to walk you through exactly what is really happening back there, how to safely fix it at home, and how to make absolutely sure it never comes back again. Before we go any further, if you find this helpful already, do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss one of these deep dives into your dog's health. It genuinely helps this little channel protect more pets. Alright, let's get into it. Let's start with the big myth because this is where almost everybody goes wrong. When a dog starts scooting, the very first word out of most people's mouths is worms. It makes sense. We have all heard that scooting means worms. And yes, sometimes a specific type of tapeworm segment can cause a little irritation around the back end. But here's the veterinary truth that nobody tells you. In the overwhelming majority of scooting cases I see in my clinic, there are no worms involved whatsoever. So if your dog is scooting, and you have already given a dewormer with no change, please stop wasting your money on more pills. You are treating the wrong disease entirely. Think about it like this. Imagine your check engine light comes on, and instead of finding out what is wrong, you just put a piece of black tape over the light. Yes, you cannot see the warning anymore, but the real problem underneath is still there, quietly getting worse. That is exactly what handing a scooting dog another dewormer does. It ignores the true source of the discomfort, because the real culprit 90% of the time is something most owners have never even heard of. 2 tiny glands sitting right at the exit of your dog's rear end called the anal glands. Let me explain, because once you understand this, everything is going to click into place. Your dog has 2 small scent sacs positioned just inside the rim of their bottom, roughly at the 4 o'clock and the 8 o'clock position. In a healthy dog, these little sacs fill up with a smelly, oily, brownish fluid. And every single time your dog passes a normal firm stool, that stool presses against the glands and squeezes them empty naturally. That is why dogs sniff each other's backsides. Those glands are basically their fingerprint, their unique scent signature. But here is where the problem begins. When your dog's stool is too soft, too small, or not firm enough, it does not press hard enough against those glands to empty them. So instead of releasing a little at a time, the fluid just sits there. Day after day, it keeps building. It gets thicker. It turns from a thin liquid into a gritty paste. And then that paste starts to clog the tiny opening of the gland like a plugged drain. Now imagine that. 2 swollen, full, throbbing little sacs sitting right at the most sensitive part of your dog's body, and no way to release the pressure. It is intensely uncomfortable. It itches. It burns. It aches. And your dog cannot exactly reach back there with his paws to scratch it. So what does he do? He does the only thing he can. He plants his bottom on the ground and he drags it across the carpet, trying desperately to squeeze those glands and relieve that maddening pressure himself. And here is something a lot of owners do not realize. Some dogs are far more prone to this than others. Smaller breeds are especially likely to struggle with impacted glands, simply because their glands are tiny and clog easily. Overweight dogs are at higher risk too, because the extra fat around the rear makes it harder for the stool to press against the glands and empty them, and dogs with ongoing soft stools or chronic loose poop are almost guaranteed to end up scooting eventually because their stool never firms up enough to do its job. If any of that describes your dog, then this problem is not going to fix itself. It needs you to step in. That, my friends, is why your dog is scooting. It is not worms. It is impacted anal glands, and the scooting is his cry for help. Let me give you a real-world example from my clinic. A worried owner once brought in a sweet little Cocker Spaniel who had been scooting for almost a month. She was in tears, convinced her dog had some horrible parasite, and she had already spent a small fortune on 3 rounds of deworming medication, plus a special food. Nothing worked. When I lifted the tail and gently checked, both glands were massively swollen and packed solid with thick, gritty paste. There was not a single worm anywhere. Once we relieved that pressure and put her on the exact home plan I am about to give you, the scooting stopped within 2 days, and it never came back. She could not believe the answer had been so simple and so cheap the entire time. Now, before I show you exactly how to fix this, I want you to do a quick check right now to confirm this is what is happening. First, use your nose. Impacted anal glands give off a very distinct, foul, fishy, metallic smell. If your dog has suddenly developed a rotten, fishy odor around his rear, or you find little smelly brown wet spots on your bedding, or on the couch where he was sitting, that is anal gland fluid leaking out. Second, watch his behavior. Beyond scooting, an uncomfortable dog will obsessively lick and bite at the base of his tail. He may suddenly chase his own tail in circles, or he might yelp or flinch when he sits down. Third, take a gentle look. If the skin around his bottom looks red, swollen, or puffy on one side, those glands are begging for relief. If you are nodding along to any of those signs right now, then stick with me, because the next part is exactly how we fix it. By the way, if this is already starting to make sense of something you have been confused about for weeks, go ahead and smash that like button for me. It tells the algorithm that this kind of honest, holistic pet advice is worth showing to other struggling dog owners, and that is how we grow this community. Alright, let's move into the fix. Curing this scooting problem is a 2-step process, and I need you to follow both steps to get results in 2 days. Step 1 is putting out the fire, giving your dog immediate physical relief from that pressure. Step 2 is fixing the root cause from the inside, so those glands empty on their own, and this never happens again. Let's begin with step 1, immediate relief. When those glands are impacted and swollen, the single most soothing thing you can do is apply gentle, moist heat. Heat does something wonderful here. It relaxes the muscles around the gland, it softens that thick clogged paste inside, and it encourages the natural drainage to start flowing again. Here is exactly how to do it. Go to your bathroom and grab a clean washcloth. Run it under water that is warm, but never hot. You should be able to hold it comfortably against the inside of your own wrist without any discomfort. Wring it out so it is damp but not dripping. Now, gently lift your dog's tail and hold that warm compress directly against the rear end, right over those glands, for a full 5 minutes. Your dog will actually relax into this, because the warmth feels incredible against that throbbing pressure. Do this warm compress 2 times a day, morning and evening. For most dogs with a mild recent impaction, this warm compress alone, done a few times over 2 days, is enough to soften the blockage and let those glands begin draining naturally on their own, while your dog walks around and passes stool. You will often notice a strong, fishy smell right after a compress. That is a good sign. That means the gland is finally releasing. Now I know some of you are wondering, doctor, should I just squeeze the glands myself like the groomer does? And here is my honest, very important vet warning, so please listen closely. Manually expressing anal glands from the outside can be done, but if you do it wrong, or if you do it too aggressively, you can bruise the delicate tissue, rupture the gland, or cause a painful infection. If you have never been shown how to do it in person, I do not want you digging around back there and hurting your dog. The warm compress method I just gave you is far safer, and for the vast majority of dogs it works beautifully without any squeezing at all. If the warm compress is not giving relief, that is your signal to let a professional groomer or your vet express them properly, just this once, to reset things. There is one more soothing trick for step 1. If the skin around your dog's bottom looks red and irritated from all that scooting and licking, take a small scoop of organic, cold-pressed, unrefined coconut oil and gently dab it onto the outside skin around the area. Coconut oil is packed with lauric acid, which is a natural antibacterial and antifungal, and it will calm that raw, angry skin, soothe the itch, and create a protective barrier. And if your dog licks a little of it off, it is perfectly fine because it is completely safe and even nutritious for him. Okay? The fire is out. Your dog has some relief. But if we stop here, I promise you those glands will fill right back up and he will be scooting again next week. So now we move to step 2, the permanent fix, and this is the part that actually cures the problem for good. We are now at the heart of this entire video, so pay very close attention. Remember what I told you earlier. The number one reason those glands do not empty on their own is that your dog's stool is too soft and too small to press against them. So the entire secret to curing scooting forever comes down to one simple thing. We have to bulk up your dog's stool and make it firm. When your dog passes a large, firm, well-formed stool, it presses firmly against both glands on the way out and squeezes them empty every single time, exactly the way nature designed it. A firm stool is basically your dog's built-in, automatic gland cleaner. So our whole mission from the inside is to firm up that poop, and the way we do that is with the right kind of fiber. Now here's where almost everyone gets it wrong, and this is a massive point. Most people, when they hear fiber, start adding random things that actually make the stool softer and looser, which makes the scooting even worse. The specific kind of fiber we want is soluble fiber, the kind that absorbs water and adds firm, gentle bulk to the stool. And the single best, cheapest, most reliable source of this is sitting in a can at your grocery store right now. 100% pure canned pumpkin puree. I want to be crystal clear here, because this is a common mistake. I do not mean pumpkin pie filling. Pumpkin pie filling is loaded with sugar and spices like nutmeg, which can actually be harmful to dogs. You want the plain can that has only one ingredient, pumpkin. That is it. Pumpkin is loaded with soluble fiber that absorbs excess water in the gut and transforms a loose, mushy stool into a firm, well-formed one that can properly express those glands. The beauty of pumpkin is that it works both directions. If the stool is too loose, the fiber soaks up the extra moisture and firms it up, and if your dog tends toward constipation, that same fiber adds gentle bulk. It is one of the safest digestive tools we have, and dogs almost always love the taste. Here is your dosage. For a small dog, mix in about 1 teaspoon of pure pumpkin into their food. For a medium dog, 1 tablespoon. And for a large dog, about 2 tablespoons. Do this with every meal. Within just a day or two, you will see your dog's stool become noticeably firmer and larger, and that is exactly what is going to squeeze those glands clean naturally. We are covering so much today, so let me quickly congratulate you. The fact that you are still here, taking notes, trying to genuinely fix the root cause instead of just masking it, tells me you truly love your dog. If you agree that our pets deserve this kind of care, drop a quick like on this video to help me reach more owners who are still stuck spinning their wheels with useless dewormers. Now, pumpkin is our foundation, but let me give you a few more powerful additions to build the perfect gland-clearing bowl. The second thing we want to add is a source of moisture. A dehydrated dog produces small, hard, pebbly stools that do not have the volume to press on the glands either. So make sure your dog always has fresh water, and consider pouring a splash of warm, unsalted onion and garlic-free bone broth over their food. It boosts hydration, it makes the meal more appealing, and it helps everything move through smoothly. The third addition is a probiotic. Remember, healthy glands start with healthy digestion, and that starts in the gut. Add a spoonful of plain, unsweetened yogurt or plain milk kefir to your dog's bowl a few times a week. This lays down a layer of good, protective bacteria that helps your dog form firm, consistent stools day after day. But please hear this important vet warning. You must read the label before you buy. You are looking for one deadly ingredient called xylitol, sometimes hidden under the name birch sugar. Xylitol is a toxic artificial sweetener, and even a tiny amount can cause a dog's liver to fail. Only ever buy 100% plain, unsweetened yogurt or kefir with zero sweeteners. There is one more optional booster for dogs who need extra help. If pumpkin alone is not quite firming things up, add a tiny pinch of plain, unflavored psyllium husk powder to their food. Psyllium is pure soluble fiber and incredibly effective at adding firm bulk to the stool. Just start with a very small amount and always make sure your dog drinks plenty of water with it because psyllium absorbs a lot of liquid. Used correctly, it is a fantastic partner to pumpkin. The fourth piece of the puzzle is one that most people completely forget, and that is exercise and movement. When your dog runs, walks, and moves his body, that natural motion physically massages the digestive tract and helps the glands release. A dog who lies on the couch all day has sluggish digestion and sluggish glands. So commit to 2 solid walks a day. It is free, it is good for both of you, and it genuinely helps keep those glands flowing. Now I have to be completely honest with you, because I always respect your trust. Everything I have shared today, the warm compress, the pumpkin, the hydration, the probiotics, the exercise, this is absolute magic for the everyday scooting dog with clogged, impacted glands. This will fix the vast majority of cases within a couple of days and keep them fixed for life. But I need you to know when home care is not enough and when you must go see your vet in person. If you lift your dog's tail and you see a swollen, red, angry lump on one side that looks like it is about to burst, or you see a hole with blood or pus draining out, please do not try to treat that at home. That is an anal gland abscess that has ruptured, and it requires antibiotics and proper medical care from your veterinarian. Also, if your dog seems to be in severe pain, is crying out, has stopped eating, or if the scooting continues for more than a few days despite everything you have done here, it is time to have a professional take a look. Because in rare cases, persistent gland issues can point to something more serious that needs to be checked. Getting them professionally examined and expressed to start with a clean slate, and then following this home plan, is the perfect combination. But for the everyday scooter, the dog who is otherwise happy, eating well, and just dragging his bottom out of that clogged up discomfort, this simple plan is going to change both of your lives. So let's put it all together into one simple, do it tonight action plan. First, give your dog a warm, damp compress against the rear for 5 minutes, 2 times a day, to soften those glands and encourage them to drain. Second, dab a little coconut oil on any red, irritated skin to soothe it. Third, and most importantly, start adding pure canned pumpkin to every meal to bulk up and firm the stool, so those glands empty naturally with every bathroom trip. Fourth, keep him hydrated with water and a splash of safe bone broth. Fifth, add a spoonful of plain yogurt or kefir a few times a week for a healthy gut. And sixth, get him moving with 2 good walks a day. Do those things consistently, and I promise you, within about 48 hours you will see that miserable scooting slow down and stop, and you will have a comfortable, happy dog again, and a much cleaner carpet. Watching your dog struggle with something they cannot explain is one of the hardest parts of being a pet parent. It makes us feel helpless. But by taking the time to actually understand what is happening back there, and by choosing gentle, natural solutions that heal the root cause instead of just masking it, you are proving what an incredible advocate you are for your best friend. If this masterclass finally gave you that aha moment you have been searching for, please do me one last favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the next one. It truly helps this little channel reach and protect so many more dogs around the world. Give your sweet dog a gentle scratch at the base of the tail from me, and I will see you in the next one.